Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Adams. This is Mike Johnson. It's time for Path to the Playoff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less, as we take a look at how the path to the playoff might be impacting the Heisman race. And one example of where that is true is what happened in Auburn, Alabama this past Saturday as Kerryon Johnson from Auburn clearly became a Heisman contender, I believe.
Yeah, he explodes back onto the Heisman scene, I guess. And listen, he's a guy to set out a couple early games in the year, but it really has exploded on the scene now at 1,000 rushing yards. I think he's a great bet to maybe make a trip to New York.
Of course, a guy that's not in the college football playoff conversation, but maybe should still be in the Heisman discussion. His numbers this year every bit as good as what won him the award last year. What does Louisville's Lamar Jackson have to do to get some more attention right now?
I don't know. I think when you look at what he's been able to do, 7 100-yard rushing games, 21 touchdowns, 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback right now, also passing for 3,000 yards. His numbers, like you mentioned, right on track with what he did last year in his Heisman campaign. I guess people just aren't looking his way. Louisville hasn't been quite as special this year.
Bryce Love's Stanford team got a great win last Friday night against Washington. Does that do more for his Heisman candidacy?
I think it has to. Here's a guy who's on the national scene on Friday night. He's the nation's leading rusher. I think he has 1,600 yards, and he's been a special player. Behind that Stanford offensive line, he's been able to do some incredible things.
At the moment right now, although the overwhelming favorite to win this award is probably the Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield, and that is with good reason.
Yeah, he should be. When you look at the numbers, he's putting up almost 3,600 passing yards. When you look at what he did this past weekend against a great TCU defense, a number 6 TCU team, 333 passing yards. He's been incredibly special. 31 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions from Baker Mayfield. I think he's the runaway favorite at this point.
Of course, at one point in time, Saquon Barkley, the Penn State running back, was the runaway favorite as well. It goes to show you how things can change in this discussion, but we'll be here to cover it for you each and every week. It's our Path to the Playoff presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. We'll see you again next time.